coming up on Lifestyle.
Well, Roy, I got to tell you that I'm thrilled you are there and I'm here.
Those first days on camera, I was nervous as a cat on a hot tin roof, you know. I look at some of the early shows and I hope that they were lost.
Some of my colleagues, I have to confess, want to give answers to questions people aren't asking.
What words of advice or instruction would you give yourself if you could go back in time?
Welcome to Lifestyle, the award-winning life coaching show that helps you live your best life possible. Here's your host, Roy Ice.
Have you ever watched a show and wondered about the people behind the scenes? Yeah, me too. The ones shaping the stories, solving the problems, and steering the vision forward. If you're someone who loves discovering what it really takes to bring meaningful television to life, then you're in for something special. Today's guests haven't just worked behind the scenes, they've led the very company that produces this show. For over 75 years, Faith for Today has inspired, informed, and uplifted audiences. And these two leaders helped carry that legacy forward with heart, creativity, and purpose. Please help me welcome two former presidents of Faith for Today Productions, Dan Matthews and Mike Tucker. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you.
So good to see you.
Thanks for having us.
Dan.
Welcome.
I love you guys. Wow. There have only been 5 presidents of Faith for Today in its 75-year history, and this is 3 of them.
Yeah.
It is incredible to think that in 1950, the ministry production company, Faith for Today, that was started, would still be going today.
Yeah. No one would have guessed that. It's the oldest religious television broadcast in the world, second oldest television broadcast of any kind in the world, right behind Meet the Press. That's an amazing thing.
It all started with William Fagel. Bill Fagel had a vision to do a production company that really reached out to a world to say, look, we've got nothing to sell you. We just want to be able to share love, joy, compassion, inspiration to help you live a better life.
Pastor Fagel was a local congregation pastoral leader in New York City, Washington Avenue Church. And actually, he and Mrs. Fagel were ministering to this congregation when encouraged. Pastor Fagel said, "We don't even own a television. We don't know what to do."
Yeah.
And by the beginning date of Faith for Today television, the local congregation learned the lines of the story that Pastor Fagel wrote, and they produced it live. I don't think they had the repeating starts that you got to have today.
No, you got what you got. This is it.
That's true. It is interesting that this was actually thrust on him by denominational leaders. And so he had to adopt that vision quickly and became an innovator right away.
Well, ABC Television, where it was first released, said, yes, we want your religious program, just don't bring your sermons to television. Remember, this is a visual medium, and tell us a story.
He did, and it became, such a phenomenon that Faith for Today was a household name. I've got a comic strip here that's in, this is in our podcast studio that we have here in Southern California. This comic strip went to more than 100 newspapers around our nation, plus newspapers in every major country, westernized country around the world. It says, it's this woman talking to another woman, looking in the doorway. The husband's super happy on the couch, smiling ear to ear. And the wife says, I think he's watching Faith for Today.
Had the halo around his head.
Had the halo around his head.
He's very holy now.
And everything. And I look at that, and to think that a comic strip, it needs no explanation. to
The
anybody.
nation understood.
That the nation knew
Yeah.
Faith for Today. So Bill Fagel, what he did at the beginning, he truly was an entrepreneur.
Yeah, he was.
And he understood that you have to do special things in a special way in order to reach out to people who really might not.
They don't really want to
ask for
watch.
it. Exactly.
You know, and so you have to catch their attention.
Yeah.
And if you tell them it's religious broadcasting, then that's a turnoff. You can see the numbers today. They're very low on actual preaching shows.
Yeah.
But Faith for Today continues to draw huge numbers through Lifestyle with Roy Ice, Lifestyle Magazine before that. So
Bill understood that.
Yeah.
And he knew that you've got to present programming to help people know they're loved, they're cared for. Even back when he started, the same as today, you know, even though, you know, Christians should be known by the love of Christ, today, you know, typically they're known as people with an agenda. And he was so intelligent to say, I know how to do programming without pushing an agenda.
Right.
Just let people know we love them, we care about them, and hey, here's some possible solutions.
Right.
Now, Bill served for decades and was wonderful, and then he needed to pass the baton, and he passed it to you, Dan. You came on in 1979,
Yes.
and what were your first thoughts?
Frankly, I said no to the invitations 2 times.
Really?
Because I didn't know how to sit in a place like this. I didn't know there was one.
Yeah.
But the Lord indicated to Betsy and me that this is the place to be and the thing to do. And we came, and it's been an interesting travel ever since. And what a thrill to think of being here 45 years after the introduction
that's right.
of Faith for Today, as far as my leadership was concerned.
And under your leadership, within the first couple of years of coming on, you started a television program called Christian Lifestyle Magazine, which is now our current lifestyle show.
Yeah.
Well, we had been enjoying the benefits of Westbrook Hospital, which was produced right here in Southern California.
Right.
But costly as it was, we had to do something else.
Yes.
And so that led us, because that was the era of magazine programs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when lifestyle seemed to be a relevant ministry to answer questions that people were asking.
And it's obviously been relevant because we are currently filming our 35th season of the show. Thank you for your foundational leadership to start it. We need to take a break, but don't go away. We'll be right back. We're back with Dan Matthews and Mike Tucker. Dan, I have something that I found when we were going through the archives at Faith for Today. The set on the back is written. It says on set at Charter Oaks. This is like right when you first
That was
started.
really me that young?
You did an amazing job. You set the foundation. You created a legacy for a young man named Mike Tucker, who took
It's been
over.
a long time since anyone's called me young man. Go for it.
Yes, and I remember the day we got to meet for the first time.
Yeah.
And I was delighted and grateful to report to the committee, he's our man.
Yeah.
And it has proven true through these years.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Dan.
How did you feel coming in?
Well, you know, basically you're overwhelmed because you're following this guy and of course
legend.
the
Yeah.
Fagels. And so you really just had to live in your own skin and try to find a vision that would match the vision of Faith for Today, what we were created for, and move forward with it. But those first days on camera, I was nervous as a cat on a hot tin roof, you know.
Yeah.
But eventually you grow and you get more comfortable with it. And so it's been a great ride.
Yeah.
It was April 1st, 2004 when I first took over.
April
April Fool's
Fools.
Day. I didn't know who the joke was on, me or the ministry.
Exactly. What are some of your favorite memories? I mean, from 79 until the year 2020 when you handed the reins over to me, Mike, there's a lot of great memories that you've had over the years.
Well, I don't know if this is the time or not, Roy, but some of the guests with whom we were blessed. And in our audience today is Chauncey Smith, who was one of our greatest assets at Faith for Today, to find people and encourage them to be here and speak to our vision of talking to an audience in real practical ways.
Absolutely. And now, I mean, he serves as senior producer, station relations manager. He's our main liaison between the celebrity talent and the show. It's amazing to see.
I'm impressed not just by our guests, but also by crew. We've got crew members here that have been with every shoot for the last 45 years on this program. That's amazing. At least 3 of them I know of. And I'm just so blessed to know them and our crew. But I remember we had Amy Yazbek, who was on the show. She was the widow of John Ritter, you know, the great comic. And she was an actress in her own right. But we had her on about 5 months after my wife Gail had passed away.
That's right.
And I was shooting a show with her, and after the first break, you know, that we do, someone told her that my wife had died, and she stopped the production. She got off her chair and came down and on her knees, held my hand, said, "Tell me about your wife." We couldn't go on until I began to talk to this woman, because she had had a loss of a spouse, knew I'd had that loss. I was so touched by her tenderness. A great show, great person to have on the program, but her ministry to me was something that will live with me for the rest of my life.
What an exhibit of the principle that drives Lifestyle Magazine.
Exactly.
This show is to let people know that someone cares.
Right.
In a world that doesn't seem to care.
And Amy cared.
She definitely did.
Yeah, she cared.
You know, she let you know you're not alone.
Here, that was our ministry, to tell people we care, but she cared for me.
Now, every success doesn't come without challenges. What were some of the challenges and obstacles that you had to overcome?
Not everybody appreciates the attempt to respond to that level of need. Some of my colleagues, I have to confess, not in Faith for Today, but in the larger spiritual community, want to give answers to questions people aren't asking. And in the process of that, attempt to convince people that they're more right than they are. We'd rather be caring, as you explained, and nice. And so maybe our audience can help us bear that message that Faith for Today, Lifestyle Magazine, is about how to be nice in a world that is not so nice.
It's not a nice world. And so that is a challenge.
Yes.
The other challenge is always been funding, because this is a donor-supported program. And being nice doesn't always draw a lot of money.
No.
But you know, God is blessed, and we've always had enough to do what we needed to do. And we've met the payroll, we've paid the bills, we've created the programs, and God arranged for them to be on. At one point, I know we were over 200 stations and networks across the country, and then international reach as well.
It's actually much more than that now. It's amazing to see.
It is amazing.
What happens every year. Just when people realize that there are individuals that really care about them, want to do it in a non-transactional way, just want to give them the best stories and the inspiration and the steps that they can take to live their best life, that it grows naturally. It grows that audience.
We've had major stars willing to be on it. We don't pay them to be on this show.
No, every guest that's on this show comes for free.
They come to give back. And these are people from Hollywood. Hollywood's got a bad rap because these are some of the best people I've met.
Absolutely.
And they care enough to give back.
Absolutely. We got to take a break, but we don't want you to go anywhere, because we have something very, very special coming up in the next segment. We're back with Dan Matthews and Mike Tucker. Now, I know we have a lot of creatives in the audience, and perhaps you watching at home, you're a creative, you want to be part of working on something like television or the creative arts. I think what they would love to hear from you is some lessons that you've learned over the years of working in the creative spaces like this. What advice or inspiration would you give to the viewer?
Well, Roy, I got to tell you, I learned early on that many times the person who sat here would answer me with yes and no answers.
Yeah.
And where do you go from there?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
So I learned to ask, tell me about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it opens the door for a story.
Yeah.
And then you can participate. That's what this is all about.
Stories.
Telling stories.
Yeah.
Real people doing real things to make a difference in their world and thus in ours.
The stories that come out, it's actually very difficult for me in some episodes to not have a box of tissues right here because what comes out is just amazing. So yeah, I agree. That's probably one of the best words of advice I was given at the beginning is just dig deeper. Just keep asking more about what they're talking about.
I would say as a creative, surround yourself with other creatives and don't be afraid of failure. Giving yourself permission to fail is one of the best things you can do as a creative.
Yeah.
Failure is not final. Failure is something you learn from. And as you continue to learn, you'll find something then that actually works. For every successful program, there are a dozen of failures, you know, and so don't be afraid of failure. It's all right.
Yes, and make friends of people who know how to interact with other people.
If you could go back and talk to your younger self when you started as president of Faith for Today, what words of advice or instruction would you give yourself if you could go back in time?
It takes a great dependence on our Creator, our Redeemer.
Yeah.
And without Him, I don't know how we would be here today.
Yeah.
And I would say pay attention to the most frequently repeated negative command of Scripture, fear not. Don't be afraid. It's not your show anyway, it belongs to somebody else. Banish all fear. March ahead without fear.
It is amazing how fear does paralyze the steps to your greatness.
Fear's your enemy.
The fear of failure.
Yeah.
The fear of people not liking you, not liking what you do. For me, I think the thing that helps me overcome the fear is focusing on, but what's more important? My fear of failure, my fear of not being able to accomplish this, or my fear that there are people out there that don't know that someone cares. There are people out there that don't know that someone loves them. And if I let myself get paralyzed with the fear to not communicate with them in every way that I can, that they're loved and that they're cared for, then that's a greater failure than trying something and failing. Now, May 21, 1950, Faith for Today broadcasts their very first nationwide program. Faith for Today is born 75 years ago. And I think that calls for a special presentation.
Absolutely.
Edie has a special cake for us. It's a 75-year anniversary cake. And I want you to come. We've got to eat cake. We must celebrate
Forget the diet.
the 75 years.
It is time to celebrate.
Come on down here off the stage.
Here we come with the
Step
cake.
here. Come on out. Good, good, good. Yes, and our
Wonderful.
co-host.
Thank you.
Yes, Marie, come over here. Charmony. Thank you. Thank you. Stay here,
Awesome.
Edie. Now, you guys will notice we don't just have one cake with 75. And the 75, of course, represents our 75th anniversary for Faith for Today Productions. But there's a couple of other cakes and a couple of other numbers.
Yeah.
There's one with a 90 on it.
Yeah.
Because we need to celebrate a milestone, which is you just celebrated your 90th birthday.
Isn't that wonderful? That's right.
And we have a cake with the 350. You just celebrated your 350th
birthday.
Almost. Believe it or not, and I don't know if you've been counting.
No.
But this marks your 350th episode
Is that right?
of Lifestyle.
Wow.
I had no idea.
A huge milestone.
I had no idea. Yeah.
And
That's cool.
she has no idea that I was going to do this because she brought the cake out and I told her to stay. But we have some flowers for you, Edie.
Yes.
Edie Hughes has been with Faith for Today Productions for 51 years.
Yeah.
Also, Edie is one of the distinguished people here in the studio today who has served on every single episode of 35 seasons of Lifestyle. Is that incredible or what? Incredible. And we just want to say a great big thank you not only to you, but there are so many people here who have been with us for years and years. Carl Schlotel, the studio manager, has been with us since 1976, I believe. We have Ray Hinton has been with us almost the same amount of time as Carl. We are so blessed with so many people who have invested in Faith for Today, and we celebrate you as we celebrate this huge milestone of 75 years. I think we need to cut some cake.
Absolutely.
Who wants some cake?
Absolutely.
All right, what piece do you want here?
All right.
We got to take a break, but feel free to go get something sweet yourself to celebrate the 75th anniversary. We'll be right back. As a success-minded person, do you ever feel like you're stuck in life's waiting room? You're sitting there flipping through the same old magazines, wondering when success is finally going to call your name? Let me tell you something. Success isn't like grabbing fast food at a drive-thru. It's more like a slow-cooked meal. It takes time, heat, and a whole lot of patience. Are you getting tired of all the obstacles? They're not roadblocks. They're just speed bumps, reminding you to slow down, catch your breath, and check your every direction. Every detour builds resilience. Every delay strengthens your grip on the wheel. So don't quit 5 feet from your goal. You don't stop watering your plants just because they're not producing fruit in a week. Some of the tallest and strongest trees take the longest to grow. So keep showing up. Your breakthrough will come. Now that you know this, let's go make it real. Don't forget that you can find exclusive content on all of our guests. Check us out on social media using the handle Lifestyle with Roy.